So if you guys don't know Skeez, he's an amazing artist. He's been in Houston and around forever. He's kind of an international artist at this point. Just want to sit down and talk to him about what he's been up to and how he got started here. You've got a project right now. What's it called? Creative Women Texas?
Yeah, it's a new art film that I started about a year ago, and it's pretty much, it kind of happened by accident because it's basically friends of mine that are female that I kind of like, captured on film, whether they're like ballerinas or dancer, fire juggler, contortionist, stuff like that. And it was mainly a film kind of like just for fun, but then I started getting good, energy feedback from it, so I was like, hey, why not make it into a show? Kind of like an ode to talented women in Texas.
Nice. Who are some of those? I hear fire breathing, and for me in my mind, it's synonymous with like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
She's a Houston icon, I believe, and
Absolutely.
her and there's a couple of artists from Austin as well. Two of them actually are the reason why I don't call it Creative Women Houston, because of the simple fact they're from Austin. So.
Okay.
That's why. And then the name itself is pretty much gives me a whole range of artists in Texas that we can cover, and I try to capture them in kind of like in the raw essence,
Nice. All right. So jumping away from that, let's talk about your artistry. Like, how'd you get started doing all this? Because this is a really big build-up,
Yeah, I'm the youngest of three brothers, and we grew up in Northside, Houston, Texas, around the 80s. I think 1989 is around the first time my brothers approached me, and they were like, hey, will you draw us, like Bart Simpson or something with a date, because this was a flyer for a party. And I just started drawing it, and kind of took off after that. They always came to me to draw flyers for parties, so I was like the youngest little brother at a party, so always went to parties because they all liked my art, and that's the origin where it came from just drawing flyers. And
Okay.
And it spun after that with spray paint and everything else.
Okay. All right. So you've got some murals out there. How did these come about? How do you get into that? How do you get asked to? You're a great artist. You're talented.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You have a vision, but how does one fall into that?
Pretty much, you just got to do it, for the love of it. Just like any other artist or musician, you really don't think about making money. It's more of a kind of like a therapy for you all the time. For me, at least, So I would just approach different corner stores and grocery stores in the neighborhood that are like have unwanted graffiti, stuff that's negative, and I would just come up to a business owner, present them my work, in a photo album.
Mm-hmm.
Back then we didn't have iPhone or nothing. We would carry our little photo album, show them my work, give them, present ask them, hey, can I paint your wall? And usually owners would be for the idea just because it's art, painting, stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's pretty much how that spun up.
Nice. Okay, something about you, like the origins of the tattoos that you have going on. Are these symbolic? Is this from an indigenous culture to this region?
The tattoo on my head is the Aztec calendar,
Okay.
and it's pretty much kind of like a piece of our culture. I'm Mexican. My last name is Flores, and it pretty much signifies, to me, it signifies time, and also, my roots. And the bands around my head are kind of like, escudos. I don't know, like notches.
Yeah.
Points in life that pinnacle moments that happen in life. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't seem to understand that tattoos, old school form, they mean something. They're not, you don't do them just because you're cool. You know?
Right.
It's kind of like
kind of tribal, dude.
Yeah, it's like a coming of age or a
Yeah.
stripe on you know, on your shoulder from, you know, going through something or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Now you were talking about Mexican culture, so for your art and you know for your vision, do you pull a lot from Mexican culture, or is it, you know, is this imagination and searching the world for ideas and
Yeah, I do. I tap into the indigenous and the old school Aztec stuff just for kind of like starting blueprint, and then it kind of grows from there. But ultimately, what I try to capture is a type of art piece that transcends cultures, if
Okay.
you will.
Yeah.
So if somebody that sees it and they're like, hey, this looks Asian, or hey, this looks Aztec, hey, this looks whatever, you know, and ultimately what I'm trying to do is just transcend each culture and make it into a futuristic creation of my own.
Okay. Yeah, it does look. The work I've seen, you know, throughout the years is pretty forward-looking. There was a series, I believe, with masks you did a while there. Is that an ongoing thing? And what is that about? Is that, I mean, masks are cool. I love masks. Like I collect masks. But,
Right.
You know.
I started making them right after my dad died, and just because of the fact that it was kind of like I made one dedicated to him, and it just kind of spun from there. Started creating masks, and the whole idea behind a mask, I was just loving poking interest at that because of the simple fact that it is something that you hide behind, and a lot of people nowadays, they tend to hide behind certain things or whatever, and that was kind of like my whole idea of it, you know. And of course I would tap into indigenous and Aztec culture to influence the way they look. After that, I kind of would try to bend the culture a little bit, if you will, to where it would look, you know, like I said, you know, transcending different cultures as well as looking futuristic.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Are you beyond art? Are you into design or anything outside of that? Do you have?
Yeah, I do tattoos, I do design.
Okay.
You know, I used to design flyers and stuff like that. But my favorite type of stuff right now has got to be sculpture.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Are these? We're talking large scale or?
Yeah, large
Okay.
scale. I'm messing with a lot of welding stuff and,
Oh, nice.
and doing
Okay.
outdoor sculpture. I really want to tap into stuff like that because I believe, you know, public art is the stuff that influences people. When they see it, they're out in public, they see a new piece, and, you know, I want to be able to capture some kind of feeling with my art and make my stuff familiar.
Okay. Yeah, and street art's really amazing because people see it; they're exposed to it all the time. They don't have to go into a building where it's locked away at night. You know,
Right.
they can be out coming from a bar or a venue or something and run into your piece like on the street. You know.
Yeah, it goes back to, you know, ancient times, just like, you know, you see the Egyptians and the Aztecs or whatever, and everybody used to, you know, draw and carve on caves, and it's just always been with us since the dawn of time. And I kind of see that form relating with street art because it's public. You know, you step outside, it's right there for you to see. It influences you, or it gives you some kind of, you know, feeling.
All right. Okay. Excellent. Where we at, guys? We got a band warming up over here. Oh, I got you. Okay. We're gonna have some more music for you guys in a moment. But first, anything, any other artists, just in the region even that you know you think that deserve some kind of that are noteworthy, rather, you know.
I definitely, you know, have to give it up to Gonzo here in Houston for being a pinnacle icon of Houston's graffiti history as well as art scene.
Okay.
And
Isn't he starting this museum, this graffiti or street art museum?
I'm actually part of it as well. It's called the GASM. It's a graffiti and street art museum, and I think it's set to begin production January.
Really? Oh, that's coming up real quick. Okay. Well, where can we find your work right now? Where can people go out and
You
see
can
it?
pretty much Google Skeez 181, SKEEZ 181, or just go to my website, skeez181.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Always awesome talking to you. All right, we got this band coming. All right, cool. We went to something else. What happened? I'm looking at the screen back there. Are we on?